In today's video, we're gonna break down how to determine if you're in a caloric deficit. If your goal is to go from looking like this to looking like this, you need to understand how to create a caloric deficit, how to apply it, and how to adjust it. Hey guys, this is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com, and I have been coaching for more than a decade. I myself have gone through this transformation of having some body fat and losing it, and I am going to explain to you exactly how you determine if you're in a caloric deficit. Now, the questions I get are from my Instagram direct message right here on the screen, so if you would like, go to my Instagram, send me a direct message. I'll reply to your question if I can, and if not, I'll try to make a video specifically addressing it.
Hey coach, I have a question. Currently, I'm trying to lose weight, and I'm a bit confused on what exactly a calorie deficit is. Currently, I'm eating below my maintenance calorie level, which is roughly 2,800 calories, and I'm eating at roughly 1,400 to 2,200 max. As for exercising, I try to burn 1,500 plus per day, but sometimes the amount I burn is not greater than the amount I've eaten. Am I still considered in a deficit if I'm eating below maintenance, but the calories burned sometimes does not surpass the calories I eat? I'm currently 237 pounds. Last time I checked, 18 years old, 6 foot tall.
Okay, so what we have here is an individual who is taking the time to figure a lot of things out. However, at 237 pounds at 18 years old, there's clearly some disconnect between what's actually happening. And what I don't want people to misunderstand is that when someone, a client, anyone tells me they're on 2,800 calories or 2,000 calories, I immediately don't assume that means every day. We are human beings. We tend to eat differently from day to day, especially if we're not really focused on a specific goal, such as fat loss. Now, for someone like myself, who's a competitive bodybuilder, and I've competed and I coach bodybuilders, things change. Why? Because we get very repetitive when we are focused on things like body composition goals, for the simple reason that you want to remove as much variables as possible. So, first rule of thumb, if someone tells you they're eating something, they're probably not. And if they say they're eating 2,800 calories, it might be 1 or 2 days a week, and then the rest of the week they're not really tracking. Or if they say they're tracking, they're not really weighing, so they're just rough estimates. Here's how to tell if you're in a caloric deficit. You lose body fat. That's it. You can use all the fancy contraptions, the Fitbits, the Apple Watches, all these things, the Oura Rings, all these things to track how many calories you burn, how many steps you take, how many calories you should be eating based on equations. But if you're not losing body fat, none of that matters, because we're not an equation. We are so individual and unique, from our family history, like our hereditary, our genetics, all the way up to our personal life history, how many times we've dieted, what is our daily routine like, what is our stress like. So outside of knowing every single thing I can know about every single person watching this video, the safest way to ensure you're in a caloric deficit is to take these 3 steps. Step 1, step on the scale every morning. That is just 1 unit of measure. Does the scale have to go down for you to be losing body fat? Absolutely not. In fact, you can add muscle and lose body fat, add lean body mass at the same time, and there can be a net 0 on the scale of change, but you'll notice some changes. And here's step 2. Step 2 is measurements. Get yourself a nice tape measure that you can easily measure a few key body parts. Obviously the waist, the glutes, under the armpits, maybe the thigh, areas where we tend to lose and accumulate the most body fat. If you notice that the scale is not changing, but your measurements are dropping, that's a really good indicator. Body fat takes up a lot of space. So when you start losing body fat, those inches will come off. You might even know your clothing is fitting better. That's another key one, because we tend to have the same clothes for a long amount of time, right? So you notice when they fit a little bit differently. And the third one is pictures. Now, pictures is probably the most painful. And the reason being is not many of us want to see what we look like when we're not in great shape. I'm going to show you a picture here of me not in great shape. You think I woke up that day and thought, man, this is exciting, I'm going to take a picture here. No, I wanted to take a picture here or a video here. And I did. And sometimes knowing that I'm going to be getting leaner, it helps me to take these starting pictures. Now, you don't necessarily have to share them right away. In fact, what I suggest is taking pictures that you don't like, keeping them for yourself, but look at them every week and go, I don't want to look like that. It will help you stick to the plan. Now, you can see through these 3 steps, through the 3 steps. It's very basic, okay? Is the scale, the inches, or the pictures changing? If they're not, You are not in a caloric deficit, okay? It's that simple. I don't care what your iPhone says. I don't care what your apps are telling you that, oh, well, you should eat back the calories. False. All right, so let's now say that you've figured out that you're actually not in a deficit. You're eating your, say, 2,800 calories, you're doing your workouts, but you're not seeing the progress. What should you do? What are the next steps to take? I like to take a two-step approach. Bring the calories down some, while at the same time increasing your activity. Our bodies love to move, okay? So if you can find a way to move more, get more steps throughout the day. You guys, I've made lots of videos talking about how I only use a walking treadmill to get shredded, okay? And I made one just recently. So the idea is moving more rather than being completely restricted on your food intake. However, you do need to understand what's going into your mouth. If you're gonna restrict calories, and let's say you're at 2,800 calories and you're gonna drop, I would drop 300-400 calories if you're not seeing any progress at all. If you're gonna drop that many calories, you wanna take the bulk of that from your carbohydrates, keeping your protein and fats pretty stable throughout the process. Now, there can be a little bit of restriction, but ultimately your protein should be set about your goal weight. So if you're trying to lose weight and you're trying to get to 200 pounds, set your protein around 200 grams a day, keep it there throughout the process, okay? And likewise, keep your fats around 20 to 25% of your total calories. Carbohydrates are gonna be the biggest variance. Now, you don't wanna go super low carb. It's gonna really negatively impact your training and performance in the gym if you're interested in keeping and adding muscle, which, based on the fact that you're watching my channel, I'm assuming you do. All right, guys, and the final piece of the puzzle when it comes to determining if you're in a caloric deficit is kind of ignoring the noise of the people around you, the things you've heard. You have to understand that there's a lot of people with a lot of opinions out there that don't mean shit. The amount of negative comments I get on my YouTube video, which thank you for them because they help me with the algorithm, but also I get to just block you. The amount of that stuff, it's sometimes hard to deal with, especially when you're trying to figure things out and you're questioning things and you hear people say things like, oh, you shouldn't be doing cardio, you should be eating more. Listen, every single person is unique, and most of the people that are going to give you feedback are full of shit. Learn about yourself. You are going to be the best person to determine how you should proceed. If you have to diet on lower calories than you thought you had to diet on to get lean, so what? Do not get hung up on a number of calories or a number of cardio or, oh, that sounds like a lot. Why? Why does it sound like a lot? Because somebody that you heard one time say that it was a lot? I don't look at what's low calories and what's high cardio. I look at what gets results. Yes, there are thresholds where we have to pay attention because it is no longer in the best interest of the athlete, of the client. But understanding that the people that are going to worry about those things are probably not going to reach their goals. The people that are going to reach their goals are going to say, hey, tell me what I need to do and I will get it done. You need to be in charge of your journey. No one is coming to rescue you. No one is coming to save you. This is about you. Yes, a coach like myself, like the 23 coaches for Pro Physique, I truly believe we can make this process better for every single person. But if you want to take control and be in charge of yourself, you should absolutely do that. A coach should be someone who guides you, not someone that's going to give you all this motivation and excitement. We are here to give you tools. I am here to give someone tools, but I can't give anybody that innate desire. And if you're gonna believe every single person you hear about what you should be doing and not just stick to the plan until you reach your goals, well, then you probably don't deserve to reach those goals, okay? In the end, it comes down to you being accountable to yourself with nutrition, with training, with cardio, with recovery, finding your motivation, finding your purpose, and you'll get there. If all you're doing is constantly questioning everything you're doing and everything that everyone else is doing on the internet and on the gram and all those things, I'm sorry, you're probably not going to reach your goals. At a certain point, you just got to put your head down and do the damn work. All right, guys. Hope you're having a great Monday. I'll talk to you soon.